here's our little barn find here. I've just come around to grab some bits. Exhaust manifold rotten to buggery. But we'll try and get this out in a little while and drag it back to the workshop. Drawbar. Should be good for 100 k's an hour now.
Yep.
So here's our basket case barn find. I've got all the other bits, or hopefully got all the other bits out there in boxes, but I'll have to have a rummage through, see what we've got. First thing I'm going to do is just going to give this a clean. It's all full of dust and crap, chicken poo, you name it. So I'll give this a clean with a vacuum cleaner and a brush for a minute. I'm going to see if it winds over, see what it's like. I did give it a little crank with a starting handle and it doesn't seem to have any compression, so one of the valves was stuck there and I gave it a little tap and that's okay now, but I should imagine the valves probably need either refacing or regrinding, because obviously these old engines used to run with leaded petrol and now we've got unleaded, and I doubt if anyone's ever done any, like put inserts in the valve seats, which we wouldn't bother doing anyway really, because it don't get used enough, would it? Unless it's going back out to work, but I doubt it. So anyway, I'll get a vacuum cleaner and a brush and brush all this loose crap off here so it don't go down into the block. I will be taking this engine off and having a proper look at it at some stage, but I would really like just to see if we could get it run today. That'd be cool. Just cobble something together just to get it to make a tune, be nice. So I'll get on with this. So I think I've sussed out why it's got no compression.
No, you stuck.
No, so there's no valve clearances.
Yeah.
So it's just holding the valves open.
Yeah.
So I should adjust those bad boys.
Let's see what does.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I've already done number one, and that's miles better.
Otherwise there'll be a bit of shit on the seats.
Probably, yeah. The top of the pistons are all pooey, but
Yeah.
so I'll wind it over and get number 3 up, and then that'll tell me exactly. That's it. Number 3. It's a tiny bit. Tiny. Let's have a look. Exhaust is that bastard. That's 12. That's 10. Always helps if the valve's shut, doesn't it?
Oh, you could keep things working properly.
4. It's number 4. That one, 12 there. No. So I've done number 1, just done number 4. Now I don't want to teach anyone how to suck eggs, but if you don't know, the exhaust is 12 thou and it just wants to be a nice slip fit. Yeah. Inlet 10 thou. Next one will be, so it's the firing order is 1, 3, 4, 2. So I think I've already done number 3 as well. So last one is number 2. So we'll get that up to TDC with my little stick. That's too far. Boot there. Right. And again, the exhauster's got a bit of play, but the inlet is totally tight, so that's open a little bit. What do I do with my spanner? There it is. Which is no good. So we'll crack them. Exhaust is that one, so it's 12. At the moment I can't even get the bloody thing in there, can't even get the 10 in there. Hopefully this is why it had no compression. There we go. So I don't know if someone's been in here before, probably have. I don't know if they've had the head off and just not redone the clearances and just wound the bastard back on. That's 12. So that final nick. And then this one wants to be 10. Now there's lovely, isn't it? So I don't know if the guy tried to start it, but it probably wouldn't have run like that because it would have had no compression. Also, I've found something else as well. That's why I've been toing around, and I will do the timing again in a sec, the static timing. So it looks like it's 180 out. The way it's got the dizzy. It's not a. Also, this is not the proper distributor from it. It fits, but it's not the right one. Hopefully, it works. I mean, we'll see in a minute. But I'll just get number 1 back up to TDC and see where the rotor arm's sitting. Right, where's that? That's just rocking there. So I want to put a mark on here. I'm just going to guess it. So I want to go, if I go a mark at TDC, and I'll get a bit of white paint, just clean that rubbish off there in a second, and then I can get the timing like once I actually get a bit of petrol through it. But that should be number 1 on its firing stroke. Valves are loose, rotor arm's pointing down here at about 4 o'clock, and on his distributor cap that is pointing to at the moment. It's going to hit this one next, so it's missed that one. It's going to hit that one, which is number 3. So that won't work, will it? So I'll alter that again in a minute. And normally on number 1, or on the other tractor I did, and the other one over here, the rotor arm's normally pointing at about 10 o'clock ish. But yeah, we'll change it in a second, but that's now floating, so I'm going to get a bit of paint and I'm going to mark down there and clean it off. So I've got a little bit of white paint. It's just a touch-up stick from one of my vans, funny enough. Smells lovely. Right, and I'm just going to try and get in there and put myself a mark. I'll be able to see that. And I want to go, I think 5 degrees before, so I can now bring that back. And I'm not sure what the 5 degrees will look like, but at a guess I'd say about 5 millimetres, so I might bring that back 5 mil like that, so just before my big fat mark, which is about 10 mil wide. And now I'll move the distributor around. So I'll just flip this little thing round a little bit, so as that number 3 becomes number 1. Oh, sorry, yeah, 1. Number 1. So, well, that one there, the next closest one to be fair. So if I turn this, counterclockwise, that should get me close to where I want to be. Oh, she's a bit tight. isn't it? That's better. Right. So I want to be round here. I'm not going to get much adjustment on there, am I? Can't really get much more in there. I might try another one. I'll go the other way, see if I can get another. Maybe like that. What's that look like? We're right there. Right there at the mark. I might try it there. Or I could pull the dizzy out and turn it 180, but I might just try it like this first. But I think that's about it. That looks like it is on that one, which will now be number 1. Right, just going to nip it a little tiny bit so it don't fall out. With that. Do that like that. I'll put the spark plate and plugs back in. See if we've got any compression when I wind it over. Because before, as I said, I had none. No resistance at all. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it was just those valves. So every cylinder they were wrong. The guy had started spending a little bit of money on it, so it must have run at some stage. He's got new plugs, new coil. I think to start off with, I'm just going to use some easy start just to see if I can get it to go pop, wheeze, bang, fart or something. If we can get it to do that, then I can rig up a temporary fuel can on it. And well, I might take the carburetor first, have a quick look inside, see if it's full of crap, which it probably is. And then rig up the temporary fuel thing, but that'll tell us if this is going to be a runner or not. That'll tell me how far I need to go with the little bugger. Hopefully not far, but just far enough. So number 1, where are you? There you go. Number 1 goes on there. And then it's number 3, which is going to be that little bugger there. And then number 4, which will be that little bugger there. And that should be number 2. Right. Also, he's put a new solenoid on there, but it's not working. It needs adjusting, and I can't really do that. I might have to take the top of the gearbox off and have a proper look, because it's yeah, they can't get any more adjustment forward on it to pull it in. So I'll just be shoving a bit of metal in there for now. But that, I'll just try the starting handle first, just to see if it's got some compression. It feels a bit better. Still not great, but I'll give it a crack, I suppose. Let's chuck some of this up this chuff. see what happens. Pop and a bang off the brake. Bit choke maybe. Nada. So I'm just going to check, make sure we've still got a good spark and everything. Still got compression. Right, I'll have a look at the spark. On a positive note, it's actually got good oil pressure just on ticking it or winding it over, so that's a good sign. But no sign of life yet. We have got a spark. I'll just double check it's in the right place, I suppose. So I'm just going to take the carb off and try it with petrol. But ether should give us a bit of a pop and a bang, but at least with petrol, it's there constantly. I don't have to keep squirting out the inlet, so I'll take that off. Well, I got it off, so we might as well pull it apart and have a look inside, see what horrors await. I'm hoping that engine's salvageable. It's yeah, compression's still not great, but should be enough to get at least a pop and a fart out of it. It might mean me pulling apart the engine and just checking it again. May need a set of rings and a hone or what have you. Oil pressure is a good sign though, so we have got oil pressure. So I've got a carb kit, but I was going to save it for my other tractor, but I may end up using it on this depending on what it needs. Might just need a clean. The gasket stayed in one bit anyway, so that's good. Actually, I think someone's made that gasket. That looks like a homemade gasket to me. Old school, that is. There's no real crap in there, to be fair. It's not too bad. That one's clear. Set butterfly light. And that one's clear. So maybe we'll throw it on and chuck my temporary fuel tank on it and see if we can get some life out of it that way. At least see if the plugs get wet. If the plugs get wet, it means it's sucking up fuel, and it might just be a real weak spark. I might adjust the points. I think they look like they're probably too big a gap as well, so we'll have a little go at that, but just chuck this back together. Make sure it's got all the right holes. Yes, it is. Let's give that a little one. think there's something living in here, or there was. Yes. Something's been living in that. I'll pull that off and have a look. See if it's still in here. Yeah, that's probably not going to suck any. I'd say we'll take that bit out as well, which is our little valve. Seems to be clear, but that seems to be blocked in there. Totally blocked. You've got to get that out. It's better. Might have more of a chance of getting some fuel in it now, I suppose. Hopefully none of that crap's got in there. That wouldn't do it any favours, would it? All that PTFE tape in there either. I don't know why it's got it on there. It's got a taper on it, so it should just seal against the end, so I'll get rid of that. That'll do. I think someone's put it on runner away. They have. Pulled that off as well. So that's not letting the... Put it through the other side. I think that's better that way, isn't it? That needs a washer on it as well to stop it going too far, otherwise it hits the stop for the tick over screw. So I'll go and get some washers. So I found one little fat washer which does the job. So I've already put one on here. So now that misses that stop for the tick over screw. So I'll chuck the split pin back in there. What do I do with that? It's there. Get in there, you little bastard. Make sure that's got its full range of movement. Looks about right now. Next I'll make up myself a little, what do you reckon, putting the float in might help, mightn't it? Make sure it goes up the right way, like that. There we go. I haven't touched any of the mixture screws and hoping that it's all still okay, but someone may have played with them as well. So there is a base setting for them. I can't remember what it is now, but you can, yeah, you can. Oh, it's 1.5 turns. 1.5 turns on the big one there, and 1 and a bit turns on that, something like that anyway. But we'll leave it for a minute. Right, it's all then nipped up. I'll nick that nut from the other tube over there. And we'll go back over to the tractor. So my brother just lent me a compression tester and a leak tester, but I'll just do the compression test quickly. We'll start from 1. See what we get. Nothing. 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 Got something on that one. We've got compression on this one, and that's it. So that must have been the one that was firing. As for these, absolutely nothing. Not even a deflection on the needle. That's not very good, is it? So I think it's going to be a head-off job. There's probably no point using the other tester. Well, I suppose I could do because I've got it, and that will probably tell me whether it's the valves leaking past, because we'll get air coming out of here, or whether it's blowing past the pistons and just going straight to the sump. But either way, head's got to come off at some stage. Engine out, which I was going to do anyway, but it's just nice to know. It would have been lovely to get a tune out of it, but that explains why I was only getting a fart on one cylinder and nothing on the others. It's very nice to know. So technology's let me down. The air line fitting on that, on the leak detector, cylinder leak gizmo gadget that my brother lent me, is the wrong size for my airline, and I tried to get it out and it's just been Loctite in or something, and I don't want to break it, so I'm going to leave it. Instead of that, I'm just going to whip the head off, old school way. I know it's leaking somewhere, so that way at least I know exactly where it is. So the first thing we should do is get off the inlet and exhaust manifold. This has got the guts to get it off. That was a bit of a pig. You know what? I think I'll crack them all. Ratchet first, innit? They've probably not been off for a while, have they? This manifold is absolutely poked, it's rotten right the way through, so I'll be chucking another one on here anyway. And when my spare engine arrives, I'll have a spare, so I'll have one for here. Just this one down here. And that one there will have to be a spanner. I shall go and get a spanner. Back to the rattler. It's the only way to go. That's all of the little buggers. And off she comes. I'll just get rid of all this linkage. That should obviously have a pin in there, not a bloody bolt, but that's what it's got. And that is just a little clip. And that's that bit off. Had my temporary fuel tank attached to that, so get that off. And I'll strip that down later. Get all the bits we're not using. Right, let's get rid of this rocker shaft. Now I'm just going to get a bit of cardboard and put these push rods through there so they go back in the same holes. Nice and oily, very nice. Bit through my... Oh, you bastard. That's one thing I will say about this engine. When I was cranking it, the oil pump must be pretty good, because we got some pretty reasonable oil pressure and all in the right places, which is good. Nice. Just get some of the oil off these buggers, otherwise it's going to all over my nice little trolley. Not that it matters, but yeah. Right. Do some of that crap. Now I'm just going to find the socket. Those, that's that one. There's all sorts of different ways of putting them on, take them off. I'm going to start from the middle and work my way out like in a snail pattern. You can go diagonal, you know. As long as you don't just undo all the bastards, otherwise you might warp the cylinder in, and that's going to be a pain in the ass. Although, depending on the state of this one, I could give it a skim on the milling machine. But I'll have to buy a tool for it, so they're all loose. I've got a new set of studs that I bought for the other tractor, which I'll probably use on this, because this one will be getting done before my keeper, I suppose. I wonder if this has ever been off before. Interesting. Come off, you son of a... Yeah. Get on with washers. Right. Right. See if it comes off, funny. There we go. Bores don't look too bad. Don't look too bad at all, but I think it's the valve seats look like a gap, but I'll test that in a minute with some fluid. There you go, head off. Wash. So I'll just chuck the plugs back in, and I think I'm gonna just put a little bit of petrol in each one and watch it disappear and come out the holes. There you go. Absolutely weeing out the ports, I should imagine. Yep. So there's our problem. Valves, valve seats. So I'll rip all those out. I'll give this a very good clean up. Apart from number 4, which is holding, which is the one that had compression. It had about 120 psi, but still not that great, I don't think. Not really sure what they're supposed to be, but anyway. At least I know what it is now. Next thing, get the valves out. So I've got my little valve extractor. Obviously works, you put it in the right way, doesn't it? Pig. I might just give these a little tap first. Just to try and free up the collet. Oh, you little bastard. Don't want to let go, does it? Now it is. There's my collets. My first one. I'll leave them in there a minute. I'll have to clean them up with a bit of emery cloth or something. They're a little bit sticky. I'm just going to line all them bits up in order, but I'm pretty sure the valve springs are all the same for the inlet and exhaust, so it shouldn't really matter. do it. Bit of persuasion, that's all it needed. I'll come back when I've got the rest of these off. That's all the collets off now. I've got my bit of cardboard with the push rods. Yeah, just got to try and get these wiggly bastards out. That's what they're like. Shotgun, full of carbon. You can see it's not been seating at all. So yeah, absolute rubbish. And that's number 8. Down there. Same story. I think what I'll do is I shall give these a clean up with a wire brush and then see how bad they are. I might even resurface them in the lathe if they're bad. Let's see. Yeah, it's not been making contact whatsoever with the old valve seat. Well, that would have explained quite a bit, wouldn't it? Might have been a long time since this old girl's been played with. Out you come, darling. I just punched it through the screwdriver. Which one is it? That one there. She's quite tight. So you've got one that's been an A-hole. I'll go and find something to punch that out with a bit more solid than my little screwdriver. I can't damage. So I don't know if you can see how bad these were. Let that focus. So there you go, that's how bad they are. Really, really pitted. Must have been out for quite a while, I should imagine. Must have been running like a bag of nails if it was running. Yeah. Definitely going to need to recut those valve seats then. You see how badly pitted that is. Looks a bit better. Bit another. Might give them a grind as well, I don't know. See if I can set up a grinder and give them just a final touch up, but it's got rid of all the pits. So I know this is not the most accurate way of doing this, but I've done it before and it seems to work. It gets the, so I've taken all the pits out of the valves. Now I'm just going to use this little Dremel grinder thing. And actually gets quite a good surface on it. Then I'm going to skim off the rust off the face now, so I can get my valve lapping tool on it, otherwise it'll just keep falling off. And this one's done. There you go, got all the bread pits out of it. Saved another $13. So there we have it so far. Our valves, so all nice and refaced on the front end, more importantly refaced on the there. So now I've just got to wait for my my kit to come for recutting these. I'll give this a bloody good clean, get it all ready, make sure it's not warped, and yeah, then I can recut those valves, lap those valves in, throw that back together again, and that's one bit done. Then engine's going to have to come off and it'll go on the engine stand. We'll flip it over, pull the sump off, and I'll drop each piston out, probably give it a light hone and just see what the rings are like, see what the availability is of rings as well. Would be nice to put a new set in it. It is an 85mm bore, I just measured that, so probably put a new timing chain in it, new oil seals, gasket set, and then a little bit of a refresh, and the little old girl will be a little bit closer to coming back to life. There's a little bit of a close-up of the valves. And once they go back in their holes, happy days, isn't it? But that'll have to be on the next video, because I think that'll do for this one.